Hello, how are you today? We're so glad to see you. You know, the summit ended last Friday. This is the first of our conference directors weeks for 2019. And we are going to dive deep into one Christian Writers or Christian Speakers Conference every day this week. Hi, I'm Patricia Durgan, and this is Marketers on a Mission. We present marketing tutorials and interviews by and for Christian writers, speakers, and artists. This is episode number 236. Blue Ridge Mountain Christian Writers Conference co-director DiAnn Mills. Hello, DiAnn.
Hi, Patricia. Good afternoon. I'm so excited to be part of your show today.
Well, you've been with us before, and it was lovely, lovely. We so appreciate you taking the time to be with us again today.
Oh, it's a blessing, and I'm excited because you're talking about one of my very favorite topics.
Before we get to that, let's talk about another favorite topic. Would you show us your latest book cover, please, and tell us about it?
Oh, okay. This is Burden of Proof. It was an October 2018 release. As FBI, you know, what happens when the hostage negotiator becomes the hostage? And I just thoroughly enjoyed writing it. I thoroughly enjoy writing all my books, but I love the concept of what happens when the hostage negotiator becomes the hostage. And there's a murder case to solve, and there is a little delightful itty-bitty baby girl involved, and just a little bit of romance, and lots of tension and conflict set in East Texas, Houston FBI. My joy of writing is suspense, romantic suspense. We live in an unpredictable and dangerous world, and I want to show that there are not only people who are trained to keep us safe, keep us protected, but also many times those people have Jesus in their heart, and I want to show how they are different, how they solve their problems and approach the world.
This is a fascinating concept to me, and just a few minutes ago, you were telling me, we've got some viewers already. I'm going to acknowledge you in just a second. I want you to hear what DiAnn has to say. You were just talking to me earlier and talking about each book has a particular purpose. What was the phrase you used? I don't want to steal it.
Every time that a writer publishes a book, a Christian writer publishes a book, the writer is sending that book on a mission trip. It's exciting. I believe writing is a ministry, no matter what your genre is, no matter what you're writing. If God ordained it, then it is a ministry. And so I've had lots of mission trips, and I hope to continue with a lot more mission trips.
Absolutely. Oh, my goodness. We have several people here, and I'm not seeing names, so let me refresh and see if I see some names. We're talking today about the Blue Ridge Mountains Christian Writers. Viewers, this is coming up, and what we were trying to do is get ahead of the game. Last year we were a little bit behind the eight ball. This year we're trying to move forward and get ahead. Excuse me. Sherry Hunt, Janelle Wood, B. Balders. Hello, ladies. It's so good to see you. I know we have some others who have not yet identified themselves. That's completely fine. We welcome you. We're glad you're here, whether you ever tell us who you are or not. We like mystery shoppers, don't we, DiAnn?
Oh, yes, we do.
The goal is to, Michelle Bankston's here. The goal is to help you understand, viewers, what is required long ahead of time before the conferences begin, so that you can enter contests, apply for scholarships, and so forth. Plus, just regularly register and start thinking and praying and saving for these conferences, because they will change your life. DiAnn, which one was the first conference you ever went to?
The first conference that I ever went to was back in 1997. And it was Wheaton Right to Publish. That was my very, very first conference. Wasn't long after that I attended the Blue Ridge Writers Conference at Ridgecrest, North Carolina. And that every time I walk onto that campus, I am home again. It is Jesus-filled, loving people, beautiful campus, everything that you could imagine for a conference center, from the housing to the food to the rooms, and the people that make it special, the faculty, I just get so excited. It's hard for me to sit still when I'm talking about the conference, because it is like, it is our baby. Edie Melson and I co-direct the conference, and we love every minute of it. And we're praying and loving on those conferees long before they get there. Mm-hmm. And you mentioned about what to do first. I would suggest the first step would be to go to the website, and that's blueridgeconference.com. There you can explore the faculty, classes are up, what all we'll be doing, their scholarship information, and to keep abreast about what's going on and to answer questions and to help ease the apprehension. I encourage the writers to go to the Facebook page. It's a group, it's a private group, and request to be a part of that particular group. And I'll approve you. No problem, I'll approve you. And there we not only announce and post different sites that have blogs to help you with every type of writing, but we also are doing the conference prep. We will, over the course of the weeks leading up to May, we will be focusing on how to be more professional, how to do synopsis, how to do a business card, how to do a pitch, how to help with the nerves, and we will be offering all those different types of helps and inviting you to introduce yourself and talk about whatever it is that is going through your mind about the conference. And it's just an exciting time. It's a big family.
I appreciate the fact that you have the Facebook group available long before the conference begins, so that, as you said earlier, by the time someone gets there, they already know people through the Facebook group. They already have had a chance to ask questions that might cause them to be apprehensive, and then those issues are just completely disappear with a simple conversation via the Facebook group. As well as you keep the changes there, don't you, so that people can stay there and keep up with the changes. And then afterwards, this is an ongoing Facebook group. This isn't exclusively for the conference. This is 365.
Yes, absolutely. Our goal is to keep our writers enthused, encouraged, educated year-round, so that when they leave on the last day of the conference, it's not, oh, how long will it be till next year and I can see all my friends again and become active. That opportunity is there 365 days a year.
It's a big job, and you have hundreds or thousands, I think thousands of members. Very safe place, very easy to get along with everybody there. Lots of information, and you will love it. So we'll post that link after the program. You can go to Facebook and look up groups and look up Blue Ridge Christian Writers Conference, but you can also wait for the link, whichever you prefer. We've got so much to tell you because this is a major conference. It's on the East Coast. It is at the Ridgecrest Conference Center, which is near Asheville, North Carolina. Just a few miles or minutes from Biltmore, if you've ever had occasion to go to Biltmore. It is called, officially, the Blue Ridge Mountains Christian Writers Conference. The dates this year are May the 19th through the 23rd. Registration opens on Sunday in the afternoon, evening, and then the classes are, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, all day long, from 7:15 to a little bit 8 o'clock-ish at night, and then the conference ends on Thursday after lunch. And jam-packed every minute from what I can see of that schedule, DiAnn.
It is, and I have something very exciting to say that although the conference itself is finished at noonish on that Thursday, we have a post-conference this year, and we have famed literary agent Donald Moss from New York. He will be there teaching all day long on Friday. It's a group that we will cap at 100, so if you are interested, make sure that it is on your registration. But I preface what I'm about to say with maybe I'm a slow learner, but that's not really the case. I have been in 7 of Donald Moss's sessions. I've done a whole week. I've done 5 days, 4 days, 3 days, 2 days, and 1 day. And I always walk away with new tools for my craftsman belt. And it's designed to help with fiction, but it is a tremendous help also in writing nonfiction. And I have found with myself that I'll be writing a nonfiction piece and I'll hear some of his fiction techniques going through my brain. But we are very excited about this post-conference. So the conferees who choose to also include Donald Moss on Friday, they can take a nap on Thursday afternoon, I am, and be all ready to dive into his wonderful teaching on Friday.
Now, this is a separate additional fee, and it is attached definitely to the conference. It's part of the conference as a post-conference edition, similar to other pre-conference editions that are sometimes available. This is post-conference. It's an extra $150. And DiAnn, you mentioned capped at 100, but the website says capped at 200. Do you know which one?
Oh, if it has been changed to 200, then I apologize for that. So if it's capped at 200, that could be because I think we had more than 100 the last time I checked already registered. So that must be why they have moved it to, why the conference has moved it to 200.
Okay. So, but you think that's the more accurate of the two?
Yes, I'm sorry.
No. We just want to be clear. That's all. It's no problem. Now, is there a deadline to register? Do you take walk-ins? Do you sell out every year? Give us a lay of the land on that, DiAnn.
We do have walk-ins. It is better to register ahead of time so that you can get the housing that you choose. And one of the, I believe it's the east end of Laurel, excuse me, is being completely renovated. And so those on that end will have exciting new rooms. And we're working also in some other areas. The registration site does give you an option in some of the areas, but for housing, you may want to register early, but we take walk-ins. We always have walk-ins. We're talking about capping the conference at 650, 700.
Those numbers are astronomical for a writer's conference.
But it's very popular because it's for every writer on every level, no matter what your interest is, beginning, intermediate, advanced, speaking, every level, no matter if you are interested in children's to nonfiction. Then we have an instructor, a professional who will be teaching the class, and you can gain something from it. And we have a huge assortment of agents and editors that writers can talk to. And we encourage that. So as you can see, I just get very excited about this conference. Very excited. I'm seeing pictures of the faculty. We also encourage writers at lunch and at dinner to sit at a faculty's table and have an informal discussion. It's a time to ask a question get to know that particular faculty member a little bit better. And that's always fun, but not at breakfast. Breakfast is when we all have a breather. And for Edie and I and those who direct the conference, it's when we look at what's going on the whole day, what might or has gone wrong, and how we can fix things. Yeah. So breakfast is not a time for the writers to enjoy that special time, the faculty member, but the lunch and dinner is too.
And this is a wondrous event when viewers, if you haven't had occasion to go to our writers' conference, a Christian writers' conference, they are always prayed over long before you ever darken the door. Okay, the directors have a heart for ministry. You can't do this hard work, and this had to be very organized. Lots of information, lots of timetables and schedules, and then you put the Conferece in there, and it could be mayhem. And the Holy Spirit just helps everything fall into place.
Yes, yes. I'd hate to think it ever depended on Edie and I.
It's wonderful to have a meal with one of the faculty members. They are gracious. They are helpful. I've been to so many different conferences where I'm having a meal, and even if I wasn't the one that the faculty member was speaking to or helping during lunch or dinner, I got to hear that person help whomever else was around the table, and it gave me a breadth of knowledge I wouldn't have had if I just had it was just the other faculty member and me talking. So it's always good to join in anytime you get a chance to have impromptu, whether it's group or individual, with the faculty members. And there are still one-on-one appointments and critiques. Got a lot to cover. DiAnn, let me tell you that Lee Pollock is here, and he said that he sent, when referencing your mission, every book of yours goes on a mission trip. He said that he sends his books to the prison where he ministers. That's a great idea, isn't it?
Oh, it is. It's wonderful. What better way to fill their minds than with a good story or good information that has our Lord and Savior as the foundation.
Absolutely. Michelle Bankston says, great conference. Barb Haley's here. Sherry Hunt says, wonderful to see you. What a great word to remember. Our words are going on a mission trip and we get to tag along. I like that. I may use that in the future, and I'll do my best to credit you with it. Memory's not what she used to be, but
I'm there too. I have notes all over.
Viewers, the conference is it still $350 for this year?
Yes, and you know what? I may have to pull that up real quickly to see, or let you go ahead and do that. But I believe it's still $350. And I know that your viewers are thinking she doesn't remember exactly what it is. It's because my mind is on the other parts of what's going on, and not necessarily on that, but I still believe it's $350. And when you pull up the website, you can see that for sure.
So $350 per person. That covers the conference fee. All right. So then there's a little bit more additional for lodging and a little bit more additional for meals. Some conferences do an all-inclusive. Some do it piece by piece, and all of them work fine. So it's just the way that the directors and the event location, their preference. All right. The lodging is anywhere from $70 to $90 per night based upon the options that you have when you register. And with this being such a popular conference, you really need to register early. And that registration, as I understood it, when I looked at the website, DiAnn, it's already open.
Oh, yes. It's been open. We already have more people registered at this point than we did last year. There's lots of availability, but it's always good to know that we're a little bit ahead of the game. It is not unusual for a conferee to check out at the end of the conference and go ahead and pre-register for the next year.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. We have that happen numerous times, and that's always, wow, that's cool. You know, you have done the best that you could possibly do, and I'll let God use you when that type of blessing comes your way.
That must just be so heartwarming for you.
Oh, it is.
Now, there's some scholarships available. And
Yes.
there, viewers, if you're interested in applying for a scholarship, it closes April the 1st. So don't delay. There's already, well, we'll get to the contests in a minute, but one of the contests is already closed too because we're trying to work ahead, but one has already slipped past us. So travel, now for the scholarships, travel, food, and lodging is still the responsibility of the person who is awarded the scholarship.
Right. It's the conference fee that's paid for. There's a lot of reasoning for that, too. Sometimes our people live within driving distance, or they may know someone in the area they're going to stay with. But when they get that conference paid for, then that is an extra push, an extra incentive. And I will say that's where your conference fees go, is for scholarship. And so the more who enter the conference, or more who enter the contest, the more funds that we have to help people, be a part of the conference and to enjoy it. From time to time, we even have faculty who will donate what they would be taking as an honorarium and putting it back into scholarship fund.
Nice. That's very nice. One of the things on the website, viewers, is this statement that probably needs to be on every other conference website. Part of the decision process on whether you do or do not, you are or you are not awarded a scholarship is based upon whether or not you follow the simple directions to apply.
Yes.
That sounds so obvious, but it's not, is it, DiAnn?
No, it is not. Or someone who'll contact Edie or I, a few weeks before the conference, and I wanted a scholarship, but I waited too long. Unless some miracle of God has happened, it's already closed. It's already closed out. So now is the time to apply for that scholarship.
Which is exactly why we're here today and every day this week. Every month, there are 10 months of this year that we will be having a single week dedicated to conference directors for Christian writers and Christian speakers conferences. There's so many going on. Some of them are a huge undertaking. Others are a one-day conference with 40 people. And I have invited the people that I felt like the Lord wanted me to invite. I pay attention to things that are going on, and we're going to cover a lot this year, but we'll only do it 1 week at a time, 1 month at a time. All right. Because there's so much, your head can spin. There's so many choices and options. Go ahead.
One thing I will say is that every conference has a personality.
True.
I teach at a lot of conferences, and at least once a year I go to learn myself. I need to learn. And they all have a different personality. So I think that when the conferees, the writers, understand that whatever part of the country you're going to pick up that flavor. You're going to pick up the taste of life from that particular area, and that's always so much fun. The Blue Ridge, we got the Southern hospitality going, and y'all are just welcome. That's what I can say. Y'all are just welcome. But if you've been to a smaller conference, you were talking about a 1 day with 40 people, and you've done that and you feel like you're ready for the next step, I know that you're going to be offering lots of solutions for that this week. And while I would love everyone to be at Blue Ridge, I also know that that's not really possible, and I really understand that. So pick up that flavor and where do you want me? Where can I be stretched, and where can I learn, and where can I grow? And at Blue Ridge, we want to grow you spiritually. In fact, we have a chaplain, a conference chaplain, and some volunteers who are identified with their name tags so that other conferees can say, hey, it's a prayer, I could use a little help here. We have that, and we want to grow you with your professionalism, with your craft, so that when you leave, you feel like, wow, I just got a boost in all these areas and moving that much closer to my dreams and my goals, my aspirations. And we love that mountaintop experience at Blue Ridge Mountains.
Ridgecrest is a beautiful facility. It's so peaceful. You just feel the weight of the world fall off your shoulders when you step onto the campus.
Mm-hmm. And we have this wonderful, I'm a coffee, little OCD when it comes to coffee. I'll admit that. But we have this wonderful coffee house, and it's called Clouds, and it's they have lots of available hours from early morning till late in the evening. Wonderful get-together. They have light snacks, too. And it's just a wonderful, wonderful environment. Wi-Fi all over the campus. Mm-hmm. Big rocking chairs if you have a moment to sit back and just look out over the mountains and just rock. Just rock.
Rock your cares away. I think there's a song like that.
It may be.
Now, last I looked was early this morning, and you had over 100 classes, which could be anywhere from a class to a workshop to a practicum. Can you break those down for us and help us understand those three delineations, please?
Okay. A workshop is simply that. It's an hour and 15 minutes of instruction, whatever the topic is. A continuing class, it meets every day. It either meets Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And it is focused. Characterization, plot, the nonfiction book proposal, whatever that topic is. Then a practicum is like a continuing class, but it's limited to maybe at the most 10 or 12 writers, and it's lots of hands-on, intense in a good way, in that you have that one-on-one, almost a mentoring type of environment. And that is very exciting, not only for the lucky faculty member who teaches that to form all these new relationships, but for the writers who take advantage of that practicum.
And these practicums are where you bring your work in and you do work. You're actively working.
Yeah. Oh yes. You hands-on. Some of your continuing classes and your workshops may say hands-on. Practicum is always hands-on all the way through.
Thank you.
A good time.
You walk in, you didn't know how to do something, you walk out, and it's done or nearly done. That's a practicum, and it's so just a gift. That's just a gift.
Yes.
Because the things that they're teaching in the practicums are multi-stepped, complex tasks. This is not put the key in the hall here and unlock the door. Okay, we're finished. No. This is a deep dive into this topic, whatever that topic may be. And the faculty. No, go ahead.
The all-day session with Donald Moss will be hands-on all day.
That's 4 hours, isn't it?
No. It's all day. I believe we have it scheduled. When I talk to him, we talk 9 to 4. And the writer will be exhausted, but they will have tools to use with their work. So when you think about that practicum and how wonderful that is, or the continuing class, or just maybe that workshop, you also have that all day on Fridays. So as I said, I'm a little hyper anyway, so it's hard for me to sit still. But when I get to thinking and talking about what's available for all our writers, it's thrilling, really is.
You've seen this in action, haven't you? You've seen changes in lives and in writing and then in ministry. And Edie Melson, your co-director, she falls in that description, doesn't she?
She sure does. She started out as a Conferece at Blue Ridge a long time ago, and that's how we met, which is kind of funny. And I'll tell this real quickly because it's so relational as to how we make friends at writers' conferences. And I was standing in line to get into the cafeteria, and this lady was in front of me, And so I said, how was your morning? And she just bursts into tears. She'd had a very rough critique, and it was hard for her to adjust to what was said and the work that was involved. And chances are she probably had 2 hours of sleep the night before or whatever. And so that was how we met. And then the next year, she approached me and she said, oh, I want to thank you for last year. You really encouraged me. Honestly, Patricia, I couldn't remember what I said. And the other thing is this, I didn't recognize her because she'd lost 100 pounds from that year to when we, so it was, it cemented our relationship. Let's put it that way.
And going on to big and better things. We have a question. Barb Haley's wondering, is it possible to skip the conference and go to Donald Moss? Is that optional, or must they be a conferee?
Well, we're highly encouraging that you be a conferee because the cost of the conference or the post-conference itself is double. If you just do that Friday, it's not 150, it's 300.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
And that may, it's just much to the writer's advantage to be a part of the whole conference.
Okay. So it's possible, but financially it might not be the best choice.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much. He knows a little bit about writing, doesn't he?
Yes, he does. He represents some of the most fabulous writers in the industry. He's written several books. They are amazing. He believes in hands-on. When he teaches something, he's going to say, now, for the next 10 minutes, and that writing on demand is hard, but it forces us to apply those principles. And when I teach, I do the same thing because I learned so much from him that I'll always say, okay, for the next 10 minutes, I'm echoing him. But he has a phenomenal way of teaching.
I have not had the pleasure of sitting in on either you or Donald's teaching. So, all right, Lauren, there's a prayer request.
Oh, I hope so.
We have, I think I already mentioned, over 100 sessions that are scheduled. So we also have the difference in the practicum, the continuing class, and the workshop. The workshop is the shortest and isolated event, and all the way up, the continuing class builds one upon the other, and then the practicum is hands-on. Dig down deep into the work and get it done. When you leave, you've got something finished or nearly finished. But then also you've got another designation for each class as well, and that's Act 1, Act 2, or Act 3. Can you describe those to us? Help us understand that.
Okay, Act 1 is your beginner. This is my first conference. I'm just getting started. Maybe I haven't even written anything, but this is where I feel like I'm being led. Mm-hmm. So that offers the basic, the foundation. Act 2 is for that intermediate writer who's had some instruction, maybe working on a book, or maybe he's written some articles, but they are ready for that next big feast. And then we have the Act 3, and this is for the writer who is more advanced, maybe some books out there that they've published and are seasoned writers, and they're looking to be challenged and to pick up some more, as I like to say, tools for their craftsman belt. And so that is just part of what we believe in educating every level of writer.
I know that every conference isn't available to do that. They don't have the resources, the means, the room at the event, and on and on. There's various reasons why that can't happen. So y'all are really a leader in the field, and good for you. Good for everybody who comes there.
Thank you. Thank you.
Let's talk about the teens and the children's writing too. Are you prepared to give us a little bit of information about that?
Yes, I am. And some of this comes from personal experience. My granddaughter decided when she was 8 that she wanted to write a children's book with me, and I thought that'll last 2 weeks. And so I said, okay, we will, but I've got to teach you how to write. Well, I'd always written adult. And so there was this huge learning curve, not only for me to learn how to write children's books, but then to interpret it and teach her. And it took a long time, and I was out with feelers, and I realized how very important it is to learn the vocabulary for the different ages, what excites them, what keeps their interest span, what are they interested in. So with our children's track, those who teach children's writing, it is that age. There may be a session on picture books, which are your preschoolers, and then we may have your 8 to 12-year-olds, your junior readers, junior writers, for those who are learning how to nail down that craft. And so our instructors, our faculty, are those who have taught it and written it and published it. And so they are the perfect instructors for that level. Then we have our teens. And what?
I apologize.
That's okay. You just need to take care of whatever that is.
Thank you.
That is tickling your throat. But for our teens, our young adults, the YA group, they aren't kids. Many of them are faced with some of the same problems adults are faced, but here they are looking at life without that experience. And we love our teens, and we understand also that teens, they're grown. Just ask them, they'll tell you they're grown, and they're adult and they're mature, but they also have this freshness about them. They're blunt. And we've all experienced that, but that's good. It's a part of it. And so while their reading is raw sometimes and fresh and blunt, the writers who want to appeal to that group need to understand that, just like with the children's. So we are having a huge teen group this year, and we are excited. Some of the writers who are registered for this group are not teens themselves, but they feel called to that level, while we have some teens who are wanting to write to their own peers.
Oh,
so
that's cool.
Yes, it is cool. So it will be a fun time. It'll be a learning experience, but it is unique.
Okay. I'm getting more and more interested in this conference.
Good.
Let's talk about the faculty. We don't have time to talk about everybody. The Lord has blessed you and Edie with just a ton of qualified presenters. We've got Bob Hostetler, Eva Marie Everson, Linda Evans Shepherd, Michelle Cox, Lisa Creighton, Vicki Crumpton, and on and on and on, and Blythe Daniel, on it goes, Vincent Davis. Give us a heads up while we're just swinging by Vincent. How is he involved? He's more than just a presenter for the Blue Ridge Conference.
Right. He is Edie and I's adopted son, our right-hand man. He immersed himself into Amazon publishing and has been very successful. So not only is he helping us as being a part of the leadership team for the conference, but he is able to teach others how to do Amazon publishing effectively, what to look for. A very mature young man, military, just a great guy to have on board, and very knowledgeable and constantly educating himself in the craft of writing and the art of publishing. Mm-hmm. So he's a great guy. He was. We have a boutique conference called Mountainside Marketing that was in January, and for the second year he taught at that particular boutique conference, and we're very, very thrilled with all he's doing. And he's also taken over the Teachable site, the Blue Ridge Connections Teachable site, which is another way for the Blue Ridge to keep our writers enthused and educated and excited about their craft. We have these, I will call them, they're inexpensive workshops and to take, video workshops to take online. And it's an accent. And you know, one thing I forgot to tell you about the Facebook page, I'm not being a squirrel here, I'm just remembering something, is that as we get closer and closer, we'll have more live Facebook sessions so that the conferees can ask any questions that they've missed, or we can cover a particular topic. Okay. And those will be announced on the website too.
Okay, okay. And that's on the Facebook page, the Facebook group, or both?
It's on the group.
Okay, on the group. You got to get in on the group.
Yeah.
Got to get in on the group. Now, there are also two other opportunities that you'll have that are designated specifically, exclusively for you. One is free, one is paid, and we're going to talk about them. That is a 15-minute appointment with an editor, an agent, or a publisher, and sometimes an more experienced author than you are, according to how all the various factors play out. And that is part of the conference fee. Is that correct, DiAnn? That's not additional.
It is free. On Sunday night, we have a specific time that the writers can sign up for their favorite agent, author, publisher, editor, whatever they're looking for. And that night, they can only sign up for 2. Now, they can sit at as many tables as they want to, you know, for the lunch and dinners after that. But that particular time on Sunday night, it's just just 2. Now, after Monday morning, then they are free to go in and sign up for others. But we want everyone to have an opportunity on that night to get their selected faculty member of choice.
That makes sense.
We'll do that. One thing we're doing a little differently this year, and then I'll get back to your paid part, little squirrel here. And that is, in the past, we've had keynote speakers in the evenings and in the mornings. And this year on Monday and Tuesday evening, we will have keynotes, but in the mornings, we're going to have panels. We're going to have a fiction panel, which will be represented by those faculty members who are involved in fiction, the professionals, and then another time we will have nonfiction. And the third day, we're kind of toying with it. It might be agents panel. Not quite sure how that's going to be yet, but it's something a little bit different. We're excited about that too. Okay, the paid part.
The 15-minute appointment is part of your conference fee. The paid critique is not, but it's very reasonably priced, $30.
Right.
$30. Okay, tell us about that, please.
That is an opportunity for a writer to select a faculty member who says on the website, you know, I am taking, the critiques and what their guidelines are. That writer sends emails the submission and mails a check, or however that a faculty member wants to handle it for the fee. And at the conference, that particular faculty member will meet up with that writer and hand them their edited work and go over it. I know when I do it, I always use track changes and have it printed out, and then I'll also go over it with them in front of my computer. So if we talk about things, I'll even make more notes on the online document and then send that to them too, so they have both things to look at. Everybody has a different way of doing it, but it's very, very reasonable to have your work critiqued, and writers need to pick out the faculty member who does the best for a devotion or maybe does my blog look right? Or maybe it's a social media question, or maybe it's the synopsis or the first line of their fiction or nonfiction book or an article. But make sure that you select a faculty member who is knowledgeable in the area of your particular writing.
And there's an entire page. You would keep scrolling down and down and down and down, and it shows the name of the faculty member, how many overall conference-wide critiques they are willing to accept, because they got a life, they got a full-time job, and so forth. So they cap that. Then you submit. When you go to the conference, they've already received your work and had time, worked it into their daily schedule to critique your time.
Yes.
So they're not going to critique it live right in front of you, okay?
No, they are not. And in fact, their guidelines will say this is the last day that they'll give you the deadline so that they have time to do it appropriately.
Because they know their schedule. It might be different for one faculty member and another faculty member.
Right.
Adria Hendricks Wilkins says that she just signed up, just registered. This is going to be her 5th year. Linda Gilden says critiques, and she's going to be your...
she's your chaplain.
Thank you. I couldn't think
and she and her husband are in charge of the bookstore this year.
Oh, my goodness gracious.
Yes, we haven't even talked about that.
No, we haven't. Linda says that critiques are one of the best ways to learn how to improve your writing. Well worth the investment. And Sherry Hunt says, Patricia, since we can't be seen as we nod our heads, I love she likes the interaction. She likes watching the interaction. Thank you, Sherry. So good to have you here today. And Linda is one who's going to be accepting critiques assignments. And the funds are mailed in ahead of time also. Okay, so all of that information is on one single page, and that's on the website, and we'll give you the links. And also tell us right now, for those who can't wait for the link, what is the URL again?
The Blue Ridge, BlueRidgeConference.com.
There we go, BlueRidgeConference.com. So go open that up and come right back, because we got more to tell you. There are 3 contests. Mm-hmm. One, the SALA Awards, which is so well known. It is already closed. Okay. Again, this is why we talk to conference directors well in advance. This conference is May, and we're talking to them mid-February. The SALA Awards has already closed. That was in January. But we have 2 more. One the 1st of March that's going to close the 1st of March, and one that's going to close this 1st of April. So people still have time to engage in the contest. Can you tell us about them?
Okay, we have 2. We have the pre-published awards, and there are lots of categories. Take a look at the website. This is a fabulous way to get your work out there, to take that challenge and possibly place or win in the contest. Then we have a Director's Choice Award. Those guidelines are listed on the website too. And those are published works that we feel just are on top of the game. And so, one of those will be picked out. We also have a First Novel Award. I believe that is there, First Book Award. We just have a wondrous array for every level of writer to submit and possibly win, get feedback on your submission. It's just exciting. And the awards night, oh my gosh, it is just so fun. You can dress up to the nines. I think I heard Edie say that one. But you can dress up or you can wear whatever you want. And it is a wonderful opportunity to cheer on all the writers with those who win. And afterwards, we have this fabulous dessert buffet that is extraordinarily exquisite. And it's it's just a relaxing, wonderful time to laugh with your friends and congratulate others and just enjoy all the fabulous treats that Ridgecrest prepares for us. So it is a wonderful, wonderful evening. It's the highlight. The second highlight is genre night. This genre night.
Oh, yes.
Okay. That's on Tuesday night. And that's when everyone dresses up like their favorite genre, either what they write or something they enjoy. And it is just incredibly fun to see, just to watch and see what people come up with. Let's see, one year Edie and I came as directors, like the old time directors. I came as the contemporary one. She came like a 1920s one. And we had, the is it called a bullhorn? And the click deal.
Yes.
And I know one year I took a vest and a bulletproof vest and had writer all over it. And instead of bullets, I had pens. And I had handcuffs. And all the things you see, the steampunk, the historical, Superman, Batman, just everything incredible. We just have a wonderful, wonderful time.
And that's the first, 24 hours after the conference opens, right?
Yes, it's on Tuesday evening.
I didn't say that right. It opens on Sunday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Okay. So they've got time already to have, between the Facebook group and 2.5 days of intermingling, they already know each other very, very well and just having a hootenanny, right?
Yeah, they are. And there will be blog posts out to talk more about the genre night and the awards night. We don't want anyone to be nervous coming. I mean, we can't stop everything, but we're doing everything we can to prepare you.
The enemy, the enemy viewers, you know this already. Anytime any Christian wants to do something in faith, by faith, to obey Christ, particularly when they're stepping out, and my sweater is shedding as I'm speaking. Whenever we try to do something on faith, the enemy is going to be right there trying to trip us up. If he can't stop us, then he wants us to be miserable, or he wants us to be filled with fear, or he makes us doubt ourselves. But between Linda Gilden and all of her talent, and the staff that's there already, and the pre-conference camaraderie, and the welcoming atmosphere, and the people who are in charge at every level of this conference, as well as any other Christian writers conference and speakers conference, God has a wonderful gift in mind for you. And if this is not your year, then accept that. Thank him for that. Look forward to the year that he does allow you to go. But if this is your year, don't let the enemy, of all the things in the world, don't let the enemy trip you up and make cause you not to go. Kick him right in the teeth and go out the door to obey Jesus. Okay?
Yes, absolutely.
You got to be aggressive. You got to be aggressive with it sometimes for your sake. And here's another point. It's not just for your sake. There are people that you are uniquely gifted to serve with a message that is unique to you, that Christ wants you to deliver. Go and get the training. Go and get the contacts, the networking, the professional contacts, the friends, the opportunities. Go and, breathe in the air of 650 people who are as passionate about communicating God's good news as you are. It will change you forever.
Oh, it is. It is a Jesus rally for sure.
I love that description. Tell us just a little bit more, if there's anything more to tell us about Teachable, because that's an entirely new offering that you're bringing to the table for. And that's not just for Conferece, is that correct?
Right, it's for anyone. It's for anyone, and it is pretty much a video-based, some of it's more of a podcast-based way of learning. I have some characterization and dialogue and emotion things there, and Vincent has his Amazon teaching there, and we have others who have different types of classes, and we're working on building a variety of classes there too. And you can go to the website, and there's a link that will take you to the the teachable side that Vincent is in charge of. As I said, it's just another way to keep our writers educated and give them a little something else to keep them going and motivated and being successful. The one thing I have not mentioned, and this is about the bookstore that John and Linda Gilden are in charge of this year. And for those attendees who are published, this is an opportunity to sell your books. And as it gets a little bit closer, John and Linda will have guidelines up about the bookstore, about consigning them and things of that nature. And again, it's just another opportunity to pick up your favorite writer's books and have them personalized, and maybe pick up a book from someone you haven't read before. And it's just exciting.
I really appreciate the fact that y'all, of course, you're not doing this alone. You've got a very diverse team, and they have layers of experience under them, and then volunteers as well, I'm sure. This is a really mammoth undertaking, and you both make it seem like it's just falling right off the duck's back. But I know that there's a lot more to it than that. I'm not at all disrespecting the efforts.
I know that.
It's a well-oiled machine by now, isn't it? You've worked together for many years.
Yes, and neither one of us are beyond saying, you know what, this doesn't work. We need to do something else. Neither one of us are afraid to admit that something is not working, or they could be done better, or we could bring in something new. That's part of it. We have to grow and change as the needs arise.
I like that attitude. I really do. Linda Gilden says, hello, woohoo. She can't wait to talk about the bookstore. She's very interested in serving in that way. Lori Hatcher says, every significant step forward in my publishing life has come about, either directly or indirectly, from attending a writer's conference. I have one word of encouragement. Go.
Yes. Yeah. As I said before, I go to at least one per year. Excuse me. To get my skills going and take them up to the next level, because I can't teach you if I am not growing and changing in the craft myself.
True.
And I know Edie feels the same way, as well as our faculty does.
Barb Haley says, I'm trying to figure out how to come.
Well, let's make it happen.
She says, FYI, I'm reading the registration form. Oh, and she has there's still some 2018 information in there instead of 2019.
Yes, we're working on that.
Yeah. Those things take time to cover all those little nicky-picky things, don't they?
Yes, for sure. And if anyone has a question, they can email me. That's DiAnn, DIANN, at DiAnnMills.com. You can post a question on the Facebook page. We're there. We're there, we're here.
Let me show the Blue Ridge. Let me show before we get off. And also the Facebook group.
I'm so glad you are just so navigationally superb.
It's a facade.
I get that. I get that. Just
Oh man. Now the recordings, you do have recordings available, and they are only for the attendees, but they can purchase them. If they're an attendee, they can purchase them.
Yes, and they are very, very reasonable. And most everything is recorded. Once in a while, because of copyright issues with a speaker or something, that may not happen. But as a rule, everything is, it's pretty much as much as we can. We record and make those available very economically.
Let me show you, viewers, what we've got here before we close out. Here is the website. That is not the website.
That is the Facebook group page.
That is the Facebook page. Absolutely, that is. And this is a group, and it's all year long, as we mentioned earlier. This is not just for a week or two before the conference or a week or two after. This is all year long. You can connect, you can participate, you can attend extra trainings, you can be informed of changes to the conference. Every single day they have a prompt. This is the first day after the conference. This is the 79th day after the conference. They keep you going in your mind. And then the conference website is here. There is a little bit of 2018 information in here, but for the most part, every little thing is updated. And the Teachable, let's talk about that for just a second. I don't want anybody to get freaked out about that. Teachable is just an online platform that stores classes and workshops, okay? Recordings and audio, video, and content. So don't be worried about the word Teachable. It's just a place for them to store the trainings, the extra trainings that they make available. And you said that some of them...
I have said that. Thank you.
You're welcome. And you said that some of them are free and some of them have a little bit of a fee attached to them.
Yeah, most of them have a fee, but they're not very, we try to keep it low, and we are working on that aspect of it too.
Okay. Always working for you.
Yes.
Always working for you. It's been so wonderful to talk to you today. There are so many things going on. It's just really a world spinning around, and you invite people in. They stay as long as they want. You serve them while they're there. You encourage them to come back or stay if they can and will. And every once in a while you have a conference.
That's right. That's right.
I like that. Let me see if we have any other comments or questions. Adria Hendricks Wilkins says, I'm hoping that my book is released by my publisher by the time of the conference. Sounds like you might be talking to Linda Gilden.
Sounds like it.
Lee Pollock has a wise phrase. He says, it's no good if you're not teachable to go to the Teachable website.
Oh, that's good.
Thank you, Lee. All right. We have gotten very close to our time. We've covered almost everything we could. We did not list the faculty. We did not list the classes. We're talking about over 100 classes. We're talking about, 30, 40, 50 faculty members. And more are being added when it's all said and done. There may be even more.
Let me say, Patricia, that many times I will have someone email me and tell me where they are in their life and ask me questions. Now, I can't do that for possibly, for everyone, but those who email me, if they are really at a dilemma, I'd be glad to help. And Edie's the same way.
Thank you for that. And Judy Gordon-Morrow says, I wish DiAnn would come to the Mount Hermon Christian Writers Conference sometime, as I would love to meet her. Judy lives in California. She attends or serves at Mount Hermon since it's only hours away. This conference also sounds wonderful. I really appreciate that there's Mount Hermon out there in the west, and you and Marlene's conferences in Philly are here in the east. If you want to learn how to write and you're a Christian, there's a place for you somewhere in the continental United States, isn't there?
There is. And another reason why we have the Teachable. Sometimes you just can't go to those places. I will say this about Mount Hermon. Before I did Ridgecrest, I went to Mount Hermon for 10 years. And Mount Hermon inspired me that, wow, if I could ever be a part of a conference, I would want it to be as fabulous as this, because I never went that I didn't sell something. And yes, I loved Mount Hermon. So I just wanted to say that. It's fabulous.
I hope to go someday. We'll see if the Lord allows that. We'll see. That's on my bucket list. We'll see. Always hope till your last breath. Thank you, viewers, for joining us today. DiAnn, you did such a good job. You're so thorough, and your heart really shines through.
Oh, well, thank you. You picked up a few phrases and a few things I wish I would have said, but that's why there's two of us.
Yes, exactly. Viewers, we'll see you tomorrow. This is Marketers on a Mission, episode number 236, the Blue Ridge Mountains Christian Writers Conference with co-director DiAnn Mills. Tomorrow, we have, this week is Conference Directors Week for the month of February. Tomorrow, Tracy Heskett is going to join us. She's the director of Oregon Christian Writers One-Day Conferences. There are 3, and the one that's coming up is the one that she and I are going to talk about. It's the Winter 2019. It's in February, on February the 23rd, one day, and it's already doing a good job out there, and she's got 2 more that she might sneak in a little bit of information in for us. We're here, right here, every weekday at 12 Pacific, 3 Eastern, exclusively to serve you, because you have a message that God has entrusted to you, that there are people hungry to hear your words, your story, your deliverance, what Christ has done for you, and they will believe that he can do that for them too. And for some of them, their eternities will change. It's just astounding to be a part of such a body of workers. And I praise God for allowing me to be a small part of it. We'll be here tomorrow. We will appreciate you being here today, and we'll say good afternoon. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Patricia.
Thank you again, DiAnn.